And the Eastern Conference.
The stepchild, the little brother.
Yeah, the worthless conference. The conference that doesn't do well. The conference that doesn't do anything.
I think the number 1 seed had 53 wins, which would have been like 4th place in the West. So
yeah, against Eastern Conference competition, which is bad.
And the Cavs haven't been trying for like 5 weeks. So
did the 8th seed in the did the Bulls get? They have a 41-41 record, right?
Yeah.
So for the first time in forever, there's the 8th seed and the 7th seed and the 6th seed in the East actually have 500 records,
yeah, they're not
or better. Man, for a long time you could make it to the playoffs in the East with like 36 wins.
And that's only honestly because the top of the conference is weaker than usual, so they got a few extra wins.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the Bulls beat the Cavs, the Celtics a few times, and the Heat beat the Wizards, the Cavs, and the Celtics a few times. So it's actually the reason is the top of the Eastern Conference is weaker than ever. So
yeah, I mean the Celtics are playing the Bulls. It's gonna be such a sloppy, boring.
It's gonna be a boring game. I mean, it's Jimmy Butler versus Isaiah Thomas. It's not really like a sexy matchup. They're just pretty good players. They're not really great players, and
the Bulls are bad, man.
Yeah.
But the Celtics, I just don't think they're gonna. I mean, I think they're gonna win that series. We're saying 5 games. Because the Bulls are so bad. The Celtics aren't going far.
And if the Celtics somehow don't win the first round against the Bulls, they're going to get clowned mercilessly. Because they've lost in the first round the last 2 years. They're the number 1 seed now, so kind of hope they lose. Wizards-Hawks seems really boring.
Yeah, that's going to be a really boring game. Really sloppy. I mean, unless, I don't know, the Wizards are going to... I think the Wizards are going to dominate the Hawks.
The only way it's interesting is if John Wall goes off and like has one of those like superstar series where he's averaging like 28, like 10 and like 6 or something. Other than that, like the Hawks are boring and like no one else on the Wizards is interesting.
Yeah, we'll say the Wizards in 4, maybe 5 games.
Yeah.
So the Hawks are so bad.
Raptors and Bucks. I find that interesting, even though neither is probably gonna win anything. But
it should be fun to watch, though.
Yeah, Giannis.
That'll be the dunk series.
It's like 2 relatively young teams. They have a lot of highlight players who, and also like they have a lot of physicality, a lot of like athletic freaks on each team. So
I think that'll be one of the most fun series in the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. And it should go back and forth for a bit until the Raptors close them out because they're more talented.
Yeah, the Raptors will probably win it in 6 because they have a better team.
And then last, Cavaliers-Pacers in the first round. We're talking about LeBron versus Paul George, basically. And the difference really...
It's got some potential to be fun.
Yeah, the one-on-one matchup should be fun. The difference is obviously LeBron's going to have Kyrie and Love, while PG's going to have like old-ass Al Jefferson and some role players, so they're going to get smacked around in 5 probably.
Yeah, 5, maybe 6 at the most.
Celtics and Wizards actually should be a good matchup. Again, they're not really interesting, but there should be 2 really good solid teams going at each other, so that should go... Like,
I want to watch Isaiah Thomas try to guard John Wall.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be fun.
We predicted Wizards in 6, so I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, maybe 5, probably 6. Then the Raptors and the Cavs will play. The Cavs will take the Raptors in 6. I think the Raptors are going to give the Cavs a little bit more of a run for their money than they did last year. Basically because the Cavs aren't as good as they were last year. The Raptors are pretty much the same team. They're not very, they haven't gotten appreciably better. But the Cavs, I mean, I think the Cavs still take that, go to the conference finals against the Wizards, and take that series in 6 games probably. That'll be probably a pretty exciting conference finals, I would think. But I think, at the end of the day, LeBron's going to get this team to the finals. But once they get there, I think they lose to the Warriors.
Yeah, I agree. The Warriors are just way better, deeper, more talented. They're younger, too. Like, LeBron's pretty old, and Kevin Love and Kyrie are beat up, so...
Yeah, I think the Warriors take it in 5, like they were supposed to last year.
Yeah, and pretty much it's a dynasty run. 2 out of 3 years they're the champions. And they're probably going to win... Well, they're probably going to be back in the finals next year, too, so... It should be interesting.
And this podcast is an example of why people saying the same thing over and over again is boring.
Yep.
Because we're just doing what every other sports show is
this is really boring.
We're never going to do this again.
Yeah, check us out on Honorable Mention. That'll be way more interesting.
This will be the last time we do a Sack Sidelines podcast. It's not an interview. We're going to switch to just interviews, which are actually good. Yeah. And, we're going to move over to Sack Media, a new podcast called Honorable Mention, which is going to be way more fun, And way more silly.
We're going to be more free to talk how we want to.
Yeah.
Check that out.
So, move over there, none of you.